I decided to go to back to school a few years ago and wasn't really familiar with how things work, and I was just taking classes here and there, and everything was scattered. And I was more focused on my son's education, but when he graduated, I thought it was my time, to pursue something that I always wanted to do. And ACE program basically, I found it on the website coincidentally. And when I met with the coordinator, she explained everything to me, and I thought this is the absolute best thing that could happen to me as a single parent, working mother, and still being able to go to school. And I think that was one of the greatest experience I've had with ACE, and the reason I graduated.
Well, I'm 52 years old. I am, before last year, full-time state employee, and the way I found out about the ACE program was through a mailer that came through the ARC newspaper that comes to deliver to your house. So just through that, and I was just looking through for classes because I've always wanted to continue education, and it just seemed like something to try.
Okay. Well, I currently am 36. When I found the ACE program, I was 34. I had an IT background at Walgreens. I worked there for, at the time, 12 years. I was looking to go back and continue my education. I'd gone when I was younger, straight out of high school, did a year and a half. It just wasn't the place for me at that time. I just didn't really care for it. So I just, got in the workforce. And as I was trying to move up in my career, I hit that ceiling that it's like, well, you just can't go any further. You have to go out to the floor. You have to get this experience. You don't have any kind of degrees. So I started to. I started to do a little bit of poking around in it, and it just so happened that my wife was going through a temp agency, and she started working with this other woman named Angel, and Angel just finished the ACE program. So she was like, well, I know the perfect program for him. It's like, he's got to do this. So I came in the first interview, well, not interview, it was like the little talking session, and, fell in love with it right there, and I signed up, and, the rest is history. I passed it, and it was amazing.
Well, I've worked in finance now for over 25 years, and back in 2008, I had decided my kids were old enough, we could all have homework time together, and that I would give it a go to try going back to school, having tried it one other time, and they were really young, and it was just too much. So I was looking for a completion program and found the ACE program, and it was very close to my work location, and the hours were convenient after work and on Saturdays. And I went to the orientation really afraid that I'd be the oldest person there, and I was worried I'd be the only person that didn't have very much college under my belt. And after the orientation, I thought, what the heck, I'm just going to dive in and do it.
Sure. I have 3 kids. I live in Lincoln, California, and I've lived there for about 10 years. I'm one of those people that kind of got lost in education. I never had a chance to finish up because I was so successful doing things on my own. I just didn't think I needed it. As I found out later on, a degree is very important, and it does make a big difference. And so right now I work for Kaiser Hospital, and they've actually told me that if you go back to school and get your degree, we're going to give you a nice promotion, a nice little raise, and they're paying for everything. So it's definitely worthwhile for me.
Oh, let's see, about me. I guess as far as my school history, I graduated high school in 19-something. And I went to City College right after that, and it wasn't really like a fit. So then I left. And then I've been to almost every school in the Los Rios Community College District, with the exception of Folsom. I didn't like any of them. And my cousin told me about ACE, and I was really interested in finishing at least my AA. So I came to the info night and met Patrice, and she talked to us about ACE, and we did the info night, and I was like, okay, this might be something I can do. So then I signed up, and I never looked back.
I found the ACE program. I stumbled upon it. I had wanted to go back to school for a long time. Initially, I was going to be a vet, but years went by, and all of a sudden I realized I was no longer that young spry chicken anymore, and if I wanted an education, I needed to take care of it. And because I worked full-time, I couldn't foresee myself being able to work part-time and go to school. And when I found ACE, I went to an informational program that Patrice Gibson was putting on, and the room was packed. Everybody wanted to join. So I said, if you save me a spot in the next round, I'll come back. And I did, and I enrolled, and it worked for me because I didn't have to miss work. I could work all day long, and then I would come to school, and it was only a couple nights a week and on the weekend, and it was manageable. So yeah, it worked well for me. I'm at Sac State now. I graduate hopefully next year, and it's a goal that I never thought I'd achieve.
One of the best educational decision I have ever made was to enroll in ACE program, because it helped me to graduate faster and to succeed better.
My experience with ACE program has, from the get-go, been positive in every way. It was a program, or it is a program, with my experience where, with the program being in a cohort, it was easy to develop bonds and friendships, relationships with the same people going through the program, some with similar backgrounds, some, of course, different in ages, but I think that was the one thing that I liked about it, is so much diversity. The other thing that I really liked about it was the ease of registering for classes. It just came instantaneously for me, yeah.
So my experience with the ACE program was amazing. So the people, absolutely amazing. The cohort, you see the bonding takes place right away. And that was the big change for me, you know, going from straight out of high school, being a young kid, and you know, you don't really know what's going on anyways, to being an adult, being surrounded by adults, that we're all here for the same purpose. You know, we're all sacrificing. And we know what sacrifice is because we've already, you know, sacrificed. So that kind of environment, it just fosters the kind of help needed to push and pull, like, you know, well, I'm not good at math, but I'm good at this, and somebody else can, you know, you lean on each other. For me, with my IT background, you know, I was able to help people with apps or programs, set them up with computers. Simple things like forwarding your emails goes a long way. So that was it was quite the experience doing that, but it's mostly about the people. You know, I think that's one of the biggest reasons why you have a lot of success, is because of the people.
Well, I started out in 2008 in the fall, and it really struck me from get-go that it was very much like an experience like a private college, because we were very much taken through the entire process in a personal level, unlike being one of thousands and thousands. And so it felt very personal, and yet the cost was incredibly reasonable. And so we had this wonderful balance of, okay, it's time to sign up for your next group of classes. We got priority before it opened up to all the other students. We were really walked through each step of the way, and from the very first class, given a path to that success. We were helped with deciding on our major or confirming what we thought we might want to study. And then we were reinforced throughout the whole program with access to advisors who knew us personally, as well as just any course corrections we might need, or helping us with catalog rights, all sorts of things. But that really was a wonderful experience. And the cohort type of program and setting is especially helpful because you really get to know one another. You encourage each other. Even this many years later, I keep in touch with a number of other people from my cohort, and we're still very good friends. and we would become study buddies. Like in one class that was heavy in math, we leaned on our friend who was an accountant, and for other things that someone needed help with, English or writing, we leaned on a different person, and we would get together in study groups. So it was really, really good.
Well, in one word, fantastic. The ACE program has given me lots of opportunity to move forward, and I have to admit I was a little intimidated at first because going back to school at my age and actually at my level was a little bit intimidating, but once I got into it, it was just wonderful because a lot of people are doing exactly the same thing that I'm doing, and it helps a lot to go through it with them.
Oh, it was amazing. Can I say that? My first class was with Megan, and she's been like my supporter, my crutch, and the person I call when I'm just freaking about anything in my life. So that's been pretty cool. That class was really good because it showed me a lot of what ARC had to offer, and it made me feel comfortable on campus. And I think that's another reason why I stuck with ARC, because it was pretty comfortable. And let's see. That was the first amazing thing. The second amazing thing was the cohort. The people that I met were amazing. We would do study nights, but mostly we just drank beer. Had a good time. But we did manage to accomplish a lot, get good grades, and here I am today.
Awesome would be a good word to describe that. If you ever want to go to school or college and participate in a supportive environment, then this is for you. I have made lifelong friends. We have great professors that you can get to know. The classes work with your work schedule typically, and I just highly recommend it. It really helped me to get back into my education, and it was manageable.
The way ACE program is basically put together is we don't have the option to go after scattered classes. ACE program is put together for you to just follow every little step to succeed, and that was the best thing that I liked about ACE program.
I think just the fact that, well, the professors that were instructing had this way. For me, I think I've always been engaged when it's a professor that I can click with, or that has, I think, something that can share with me, being as experienced in life as I am. So I just always found their stories and their backgrounds to be really interesting, and they brought a lot to the table for the program.
The people. Well, the information, the knowledge that you gain too, as you get older, you kind of go like, I don't really have that much more to learn, but you really do. And it's not so much about, women's history. You do learn a lot about that, but you learn more about the people, the community that you're in, with how they interact or react, or, with each other or with you, or their thoughts and ideas. There's times that you hear somebody say something that you go like, wow, I had no idea that you thought like that. And that could be good or bad, and it's eye-opening. And that kind of information is really good, especially here. We're in such a diverse place that it really broadens your mind. And I don't think you could get that anywhere else.
Well, the encouragement, the cohort support, and also it's really well organized in that more academically challenging, heavy classes are paired with some that are a little less so, and it's really planned out to guide you through so there's not any one time where you're completely overloaded. And even if you had a major that wasn't exactly in line with every single ACE class, you could still remain within the ACE program and then fill in on the side with other classes that you needed to get. But you never had to worry about being waitlisted or not being able to get the classes you needed to stay on track.
I would have to say probably the cohort program. And I didn't really think much of it. I heard about it and I was like, oh, people are not going to really be helpful. It's just going to be like a regular class. But after the second class, we started to bond, we started to gel, and it was wonderful. We created study groups, chat groups, and we helped each other all the way through. And I'll tell you, it made the whole journey much more bearable to have those people with me.
Again, my cohort was amazing. We all hit it off. I liked that everyone in our class, no matter their age, was here to focus on school. So everybody wanted to just get it done, and we all pitched in to help each other answer questions. Of course, you get days when you're like, I can't do this, I don't want to do it. And so we made a support system with ourselves, and we're even still in touch now. For me, just completing school, I had a lot of barriers, which I thought were barriers, but I actually found out that they were just kind of excuses that I used to keep myself from doing it because I was probably afraid to do it. So ACE helped me with that because it was so easy. Like, I didn't have to think about it. I had a list of classes, checked 2 of them off every 8 weeks. Like, that was cool. So yeah, that's how I was able to stick to it and finish it.
Other than working with you, Megan, I liked learning in a cohort environment. I think for me, having my fellow students start and finish with me helped me to be more accountable to my educational goals. We supported one another through exams, through midterms, through the crush of trying to study. We helped each other out when one of us would stumble, whether we got a bad grade or, some life event happened. Having a cohort there to help and support you really, I think, lent success to my endeavor. And I know that that is also the case for many of the others who were with me. It's just an awesome way to go through college, I think.
Enroll in ACE as soon as you can, because ACE program is basically the key to your success.
Give it a try. Give it a try. Give it 100%. If there's anything that any road bumps or speed bumps, that there was always somebody there to help you through those. So yeah, it was really a great experience for me.
A couple of things. So one is to stay vigilant because it's hard. It is hard. It is a sacrifice, and you are giving up so many hours and so many days. You're giving up parties. There's going to be things that you can't go to. You're going to miss things that you want to do. Sometimes you don't want to wake up early in the morning and be out all day for your 6th or 7th day. But you have to stay vigilant because 2 years is a very short period of time. And 2 years is going to pass, and you can have an associate's degree or you cannot have an associate's degree. But 2 years is still going to pass. And then another one would be to use your toolbox. And sometimes I think that's hard for some people, but your toolbox can be the professors asking questions, the cohort asking questions. We live in an age with Wikipedia. It's not the best source of information, but it's something, Read something. Download apps on your phone. Try them out. Reach out to other people. There's so much stuff out there that you can reach out and get information that you need from something, and the people again are the main source. But then the third thing is also to be kind, because you are going to be with some folks for 2 years, and I know some people that didn't take that rule at the beginning. Well, 2 years later, they're still looking at those same people they may have been rude to at the beginning, and those those relationships can be kind of hard to carry on for 2 years. But a little bit of kindness goes a long way, anyways. Somebody might rub you the wrong way one day, but they may be of immeasurable value to you in a class a year and a half from now when they just know the subject.
Oh gosh, just sign up and do it, because 2 years from now is going to be 2 years from now, and you will be so glad that you signed up, you just did it. And originally I started out just thinking, I just need that degree on the wall, just get it done. But I really changed through the whole process. And as an adult learner, you bring so much to the table. And each one of the instructors was so great because they appreciated adult learners and appreciated the fact that you have life experience and anecdotal information that could support the learning objectives. And you really did have an enhanced experience overall. So just do it. And if you run into snags or challenges, I paid my kids to tutor me in math. You know, you just get it done. And even if you feel like, gosh, I just can't manage it this semester, don't stop. Even if you have to back off a little bit on coursework, don't drop out. Just do it. And you'll be so glad you did.
Don't procrastinate. Jump into it, get going, put your head down, and just bulldoze through it. It's a fantastic opportunity. It's never too late to learn. And the ACE program is exactly what you're looking for if you're trying to move ahead quickly.
Go to the info night, get the information, and sign the papers before you leave. Don't give yourself a chance to talk yourself out of it, and just get started and talk to people, meet people, get the books.
Ooh, okay. Get to know the people who are in your cohort. These people will be invaluable to you. You will learn to study with them. You will help one another out through life's events, through, you know, just getting to understand how you need to allocate time to be successful in class. Make an effort to get to know your professors. They are people too. I have made friends and acquaintances with almost every professor I've had in my college experience. Probably many of them would prefer not to know me. But I've been told by many professors that they wish to know the students who are in their class. They want to make that personal connection. So please, you know, make that personal connection. I don't think that you will regret that. And then also, you know, be kind to yourself. Know that college is a place for you to find out really what you want to do, who you want to be. It gives you that opportunity. And with that comes successes and failures. I can't tell you how many times I retook chemistry. I mean, come on. But I love chemistry, and I allowed myself to fail, but then I also was able to succeed. And as embarrassing as the failure was, I succeeded, and that's a pretty good feeling. So don't be so surprised if, you know, you try something and maybe you're not successful. It's okay. We all do it. You learn from it.